We were
It
going to
does.
do the $20 trick. I've never done it, but my
It
sister
does
just
coach
went
with
last
him.
month. So my sister went last month and she stayed at the Cosmopolitan, and she said that her husband did it, but he did it with a 50, and they did not get an upgrade, and the lady took the 50.
What?
Yeah, she called me so mad because I'm the one that recommended it to her. So she kind of
I
blamed
have-
me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have
wow.
never had them take the money if I didn't get the upgrade. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of our Gambler Audit. We have Jennifer here, and she's going to tell us all about her experience in the casino, what her budget is, what she does for fun, what games she likes, and we're going to just see what's going on and see how we can help her and maybe give her some pointers and tips on how to be more successful. So Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on. Tell us about yourself, where you're at, what you like to play. Give us the whole information.
So we just moved to Minnesota from the Bay Area in California a couple months ago. Over there, we
Wait a minute.
went.
Sorry to interrupt you. You moved from the Bay Area in California to Minnesota
Yes,
a couple months ago.
yes.
So I actually have a friend who 15 years ago moved from the center of Texas to Minnesota. And I said, "Hey, do you have a parka?" And he's like, "What's a parka?" So I looked up this info on, so you're new to Minnesota. Here's the information you need. And it's like, you need a parka, gloves, all this, like your exposed skin will get frostbite. He's like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a transition.
Have you ever lived
scared
in a
about the
cold climate
winter?
before, or is this new?
Yeah. I mean,
I lived in Washington State for about maybe a year or two in like junior high. So
Okay.
I've been around it a little bit, but it's still not as
Not
cold as
Minnesota-like,
Minnesota. Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
You'll find
All
that
right.
Washington State weather being around, 20 degrees on a cold day when there's this like -20 on a cold day.
Yeah. It's different.
Sorry, go ahead. I just could not resist.
No,
Like,
no,
wait a minute. Do you have a parka?
yes, we've been doing a lot of shopping recently. um, so I've gambled off and on for maybe, gosh, maybe close to 10 years. Nothing serious, just once a year, go to Vegas type thing with friends. But my husband and I recently, about maybe 2 years, got into going more frequently. Not really Vegas, but local casinos in California. And then when we moved to Minnesota, we started going. So we're on the corner of Minnesota. So we're about 3 minutes from Iowa and about 45 minutes from Wisconsin. So we can travel all different directions from here. So we've tried a few different casinos like Isle Casino in Waterloo, Iowa. And then there's another Diamond Joe in Iowa. We really haven't had great luck at either one of those versus California. I feel like we were always having good luck. We had a few off days, but we usually always came home breaking even or a few hand pays.
Okay.
So last year we went to Vegas for the first time together, and we're going again in about a week.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
this is our first time since we found your channel, and we're kind of trying to do the envelope system and get everything like that together.
That's good.
That's
So-
outstanding.
What
When
about
you
what's usual? Oh, go ahead, Mark.
let me see. Sorry, it was a little bit echo there. I was gonna let it die down. So, what is your budget? Like, how much do you typically bring to the casino? Like, what's roughly?
So we usually just go overnight. We usually have Caesar's comps no matter where we go for free rooms. So we usually
Okay.
stay overnight.
Okay.
But we usually come home in the morning. I would say we bring around 1,000 with us
Okay.
when we go
Is that
between the
per
two of
person or
us
both of you?
for both of us. And we usually do pretty well on that. We usually come home at least breaking even.
Okay.
That's good. And the games usually play.
So We typically have never played the games that you guys recommend. I did start playing them recently, the last couple trips to kind of see, but I'm always scared to put too much in them. So I'll
Sure.
usually put like no more than like 100 and I don't get anything. I've
Oh
tried,
no.
top dollar, all of them and nothing for all of them. So then I
Mm.
tend to go back to my pennies.
Yep. You go
'Cause
back to
there's
what you
one,
know.
there's one particular penny game that I don't know why. It's just me. I tend to have good luck on it. My husband loses no matter what he does on it, but I always win.
What is
So
that? Do you remember?
yeah, it's called Ultra Rush Gold. I don't know if
Ultra
you've
Rush.
ever seen it.
I don't think I've seen that
Is
one.
that the one where you get the two wilds on the reels 1 and 2, and then it collects? Or I'm trying to remember.
No, it's
Okay.
there's different. Each one has a different animals. It's like one has a phoenix, one has like a
Okay.
tiger. And they're coming up with new styles of it that are different, which I find those are um, higher in volatility, the new ones.
Yeah.
But I like the game too, so that's what's hard is even when it's really volatile,
game, yeah.
really like the
Yeah.
game.
No, I mean, it's part entertainment, right? Like we can't deny
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's definitely about entertainment.
So we're really excited to try Cherry's Jubilee when we get to
Oh,
Vegas.
yes.
I've already told them like, let's get our luggage put away. Let's go.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
will
those
not be
are
disappointed.
no. Well, you could. I mean, it's
You could.
it's
It's still
it's still
fun.
possible not to
It's still fun.
hit on. But I mean, of all of, again, we're talking about everything combined. Like you factor in
Yeah.
the length of play, the types of machines that are there, the denomination you're comfortable with playing, all those things considered, it's still hands down the best game that you can play to try to get that 1,000 credit progressive. I mean, it's just, and we try to compare it to other games that you win 1,000 credits on, like Top Dollar or Pinball. And Top Dollar, you may see the 1,000 credits light up maybe once a month for one person, where Cherry's Jubilee, the 1,000 credits is hitting anywhere from 6 to 7 to up to 20 times a day. And so when you think about all those things and you kind of compress it all in, you realize it's actually a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Pretty good chances of hitting it. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of you did, especially both of you playing.
Yeah.
Somebody's likely to hit it. So I think you'll have a good time. I hope to hear the story that you did.
I
really
definitely want to hear this story. And don't get caught up on the top number. Don't say, oh, this one is $1,012, so that one's going to pay sooner than the one that's $1,003. I've won most of mine on when it's under $1,010. So it's just going to go. It's not dependent on the dollar amount shown on progressive.
Okay.
Yeah. And we even had somebody that hit it within a couple of spins. I mean, as close to back as you can really think. I think it was when Brantley and I were there. I think she hit it and then it went off again at 1,050 cents. So, I mean, it was really close. So the odds are the same every single time you press the button on that one. So don't worry about getting one. I always look for the one that the lights are working behind the reels and the sound's working, because I think the experience is a lot better. But yeah, that's what I look for.
Yeah.
So where are you staying in Vegas, by the way?
So we're
MGM?
staying. No, I've never stayed at MGM. So we're staying at Luxor our first 2 nights, just because that's where we've stayed the last couple times. It's kind of we like it. So we're staying there the first 2 nights, and then the next 3 nights we're staying at Harris. And the only reason we're staying at Harris is because I have some family coming in as well, and they're staying at Harris. So we just wanted to stay where they're at.
Sure.
Get the suite upgrade at Harrah's.
I'm hoping.
It's a really nice room.
I mean, our room is comped at Harrah's, so it was fine with us.
Just say, hey, this is the first time we've stayed here. We'd definitely like to see the suite.
Well, I'm hoping to use my birthday because we're going for my birthday.
Definitely drop the birthday. Say it's our first time staying at Harrah's, and it's my birthday. All those things are good things to add in.
Okay.
And if you happen to have one of those birthday tiaras or a little sash or something as well, wear that. I mean, wear whatever you can to get ahead. And
we were going to do the $20 trick. I've never done it, but my sister just went last month. So my sister went last month and she stayed at the Cosmopolitan. and she said that her husband did it, but he did it with a 50, and they did not get an upgrade, and the lady took the 50.
What?
Yeah, she called me so mad because I'm the one that recommended it to her. So she kind of blamed me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have
wow.
never had them take the money if I didn't get the upgrade.
Yeah, she
Like
said
they
they
will
kept the
always give it
50.
back. Yeah, don't do a 50, do a
What,
20.
you think
Yeah.
you're giving a $50 tip just to
Well,
check me in? Like what?
That's what I told her. I said, no, I didn't tell you 50. That's not on me. I told you 20.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
on you. Oh, that is
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so at Luxor though, just make sure you get those tower rooms, not the pyramid rooms. You won't be
Okay.
sorry with the tower room. Tower room, super nice.
Nice.
Pyramid room, they are starting to remodel those, but there's still a crapshoot on whether you're getting one of the newer rooms or one of the horrible rooms.
Okay.
And the horrible rooms are bad. They're just so old. They just need
Yeah.
to be remodeled so bad. So
Yeah.
you're more
For maybe 5 years in a row, every year when I win, I always stayed at Mirage. But I don't know if you heard of it, but when Mirage got bought by Hard Rock, I was part of the people who got basically sold to Hard Rock. So all of my MGM rewards and everything were wiped out. So now I have no comps through MGM until I think they said the middle of December of this year. They'll start offering me them again.
Did you try calling up MGM and say that
Yeah,
was a mistake?
I've talked to them a few times, but they said
God.
that because a majority of my stays were all at Mirage, then I had to be part of that package.
I've heard of several people say that if
Yeah.
they were actually essentially lumped in with the sale, and so it was like you're included because you went to Mirage most of the time. They essentially said, well, these are Mirage players. They're not
Yeah.
MGM players, they're Mirage players. And I'm like, no, not really. They're under MGM, they're just staying at Mirage. But
Yeah, we
if
just
you-
like Mirage because it's pretty much center strip. So it was always our go-to.
Right.
There wasn't any
And
other particular
nice
reason
property.
about liking it. I mean, I probably gambled at Mirage less than anywhere else. I just stayed there.
Mm.
Have you been back to Mirage since it was sold to Hard Rock?
Last year, I think my husband and I walked through it and maybe played a game or two, but that was last August was the last time we were there. So I don't know if it looks
There's
any
still
different
almost zero
now.
changes. I mean, it's
Okay.
like no changes. The only thing that's changed is now that they have the Unity rewards program instead of MGM rewards. Otherwise,
Okay.
the exact same casino. I mean, they haven't really even moved games around that much. They're waiting for the big remodel that's coming in another year. And so that's when you're going to start seeing changes. But currently, it's still the same place. So if you had a favorite game there, it's probably still there.
Okay.
Now, what's your usual bet on your penny machines? Like, where are you comfortable at denominate or bet wise?
When I first started, I used to stay on the lower end, like 80 cents to $1.20. But personally, I feel like I get more when I bet around $3 a spin. I've went up to 5 and 6, but I haven't noticed a big increase. So I usually stay at 3 because when I bet 5 and 6, I get back the same as if I was betting 3 on the machines I play anyway. So that's why I just kind of keep it at 3 where I'm comfortable.
And that's good. Staying in your comfort level is always good. I mean, absolutely good. But I definitely do recommend going to some of the 3 reel machines. Now, when you mentioned that you didn't have any luck on Top Dollar or Pinball, were those the 9-line 10 credit to spin games? The newer ones?
I don't remember exactly because we just kind of bounced around and seen them. We tried those, and then I also tried Thunder Crash a few times. Eagle Bucks, I actually did okay on. I maybe doubled my money. I maybe put in 100, maybe doubled. But like I said, every time I've tried, I've been scared to put in too much because a lot of them at the casinos in Iowa are a minimum bet of $5 for one line.
Wow. Okay. So there's no dollar denominations.
No. So you figure you can only play the one line if you want to bet $5. Otherwise, you got to go up to 10 or 15. Which I'm not comfortable with 10 or 15 a spin.
Me neither. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That does make a lot of sense, though. And have you been to the Wisconsin side any? There's
I
a couple
haven't.
casinos over there as well.
Yeah, we've looked at them. So I like to drive and get in the car and go. I don't care how far it is. My husband on the other side, he's like, "Oh, it's too far. It's too far." But I think I'll be able to get them out there in the near future. Well, probably after the snow and everything this year. But
Next April.
yeah,
Yeah, when you guys thaw,
yeah,
you'll be good.
yeah,
But you're going out to Vegas at a great time. F1 will be finishing up. You're staying at Luxor, which has a great selection of games. I mean, there really are a lot of great games there. In the high limit room and outside the high limit room, there's a good selection. Mandalay Bay and Excalibur are right there. They're super close by, so you don't have to go super far to have more games. And you're going to find a lot of lower denomination games at Excalibur.
okay.
One of the ones
Yeah, and
Something to look at.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we're really big on. I can't see my phone because I'm using it for this, but we always play the MGM slots where you can earn like rewards and things like that and free play. You can redeem it for free play. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I think it's just called MGM slots.
Oh, it's the slot point.
Oh, the game, yes.
Yeah.
Slots
So between that and then like the My Konami, and then my husband and I split. Yeah, and we split our rewards and things. So between that, we have like an extra, probably 200 a piece in free play.
Okay,
that's good. And plus, they're free games. They're fun to play. You don't have to put money into them.
Yeah.
They're a blast, and I recommend doing all of them because there's MGM rewards. There's all the My Vegas ones, Pop Slots, Konami. There's a bingo one, a blackjack one. I have them all, and I just bounce from one to one, getting my free coins every day, and play all through there. And once you build up enough, now I would recommend against cashing in the free play. That's completely up to you. But the conversion rate for the points to free play is very bad.
Oh.
If you look at it on what you get versus the dollar value you get out of it, you're getting to spend a ton of points to get very few dollars. But like if you look at the buying a ticket to Ka or some other show and the dollar value for that, those points are much less, but that dollar value is higher than what you would for the free play.
Yeah, it's a lot. So like I just redeemed my last one the other night, and it was 130,000 for $25.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot.
130,000 points gets you, a free ticket to a show, which if you go to like Beatles Love or or even Ka, that's $120, $130 value. So it's just something to think about. It's
and I have a lot in there. I think I have like 4 million left.
Oh, that's really good. I only have about 2 million, so that's really good.
I just let it sit there and run up.
Mm-hmm. And you just play and play.
If you're only going once a year, it's a good time to cash it all in.
Yeah.
Before you go.
There are a lot of limitations on it, though. That's the only thing I don't like.
Yeah.
There's so many limitations.
They never want to give too much away.
No. There's blackout dates constantly. You can't do this. Things get sold out. But it's great that you play that because it's absolutely free. Yeah. And it's just, you cash those ins, and they're expanding as well. So it's not just MGM anymore. You can do those at other places, even cruises now. So there's a lot of a lot of great things about it. So you said you have been doing well your last few trips.
I've been doing well. My husband's been doing horribly. Well. So the balance is not there. It's not there. I mean, I'm holding us afloat.
We used to always joke it's the worst thing is when you're both doing bad because it's coming out of the same money. It's like, as long as one of you can carry the other, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It's definitely
and we play the same thing. We play the same amount. He's really bad about putting his player card in, and I'm trying to get him to be better at that because I'm always earning free play.
Always play with your card.
Yeah, I'm always earning free play, and he looks at his and he's like, "Oh, I only got $10 free play." I'm like, "Because you don't put your card in."
That's $10 free.
Yeah.
Is it because
he'll
of
see my
superstition, or he
offers.
just doesn't want to put it in? Is it?
I think he's just forgetful, and he'll
Okay.
see mine pop up, and he'll say, "Oh, you got $100 free play or whatever," and he's like, "That's not fair. I only got 10." I'm like, "But I put my card in every time."
Sorry,
And I
man,
swipe
but you
my
need a
card.
solution, right?
Yeah,
Put it
and
in.
every restaurant, every coffee, I swipe my card.
Good.
Yeah, you
Everywhere
need
you
to.
go, check in,
Yeah.
all of it.
I do it.
All this.
Yeah, absolutely. Everywhere they can accept it, you should use it.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's like 30 cents, you're buying something for 30 cents. I mean, but use it. It all adds up. I mean, it really does, and it
Yeah.
sucks the sting out of having a bad visit gambling wise, because then you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about having to pay for room and board and food and everything else on top of whatever losses you just went through. It's just kind of a
Yeah.
nice thing to have, and it's free. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
put your card in while you play and earn those comps.
Get him one of the bungee things and just like
Yeah.
attach it to his shirt so it's always right there. So
That's
he's not
right.
forgetting it. You know,
Yeah.
look,
Or maybe
this
you
is-
should
this is-
take over holding the card for him and putting it in there.
Yeah. We usually sit next to each other. Yeah. So maybe I'll
So
just
there
do
you
that.
go.
the other thing to do is get 2 cards in like your name or 2 cards in his name and play on those cards together. So
Yeah,
you're
that-
focusing your points on one.
That kind of brings up a question I had. I was wondering if it's worth it for us to merge or just stay separate.
I would,
So that's what
yeah.
you're going to have to look at it. You're going to have to look and see what, you know, are when you merge your cards, there are a lot of positives, but there's
Mhm.
a couple of negatives as well. If you always go together, merging is a great idea. But if you ever travel separately, then I would say focus on the one who has the most points and go from there. And especially like if you're getting better offers, then you both play on your card to increase those numbers. But if you guys are going mostly together, then merge the cards together. And that way you're doing the same thing. You're focusing more points, but at the same time, your offers are still separate-ish.
But nothing happens to him like if he hits, a hand pay with my card.
Nope, they don't care.
Okay.
They husband and wife, common thing.
There
It's
are
super
some
common.
exceptions to that, though. Real quick, if he's not there and you're playing with his card, you know what I mean? Like that should match. But if you're playing together and you're just using his card at the time, that's totally fine.
Right.
So as long
what
as
they
you're-
don't want you to do is use comps from somebody else's card. That's where they
Oh,
get it.
okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so if he used your card because you have free play and you're not there, and he wins a hand pay off of the free play, that could raise some concerns with the casino. But if you're
Okay.
both there, it's not a big deal. And one thing to clarify, when you do combine cards, when it comes to tier status and points for that, those are combined. But for getting offers of free play in that, those are typically separate. So if that makes sense. So that what I'm basically saying is that if you do combine the cards and you end up getting $200 in free play, that does not mean that he automatically gets $200 in free play also.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's going to be based on the player for that individual card. My wife and I share ours. She never gets any free play because she only goes once every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But I've been there, every 2 months for the last 10 years. And so I get more free play, even though our cards are combined. But whatever points that she's earning, by doing room service, spa treatments, or whatever it is that she does, that is feeding into our combined point balance when it comes to getting the tier status and stuff like that. So at least that's how the MGM reward system works. I think they're all fairly similar to that, but I still think it's better to combine cards, especially like Dave said, if you're going at the same time, you'll be able to get that status level up higher, and then you're going to be able to get free parking and all, more hotel room stays. If you're always going together, it makes sense to do that because you will get better rooms and all that kind of stuff combined together.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember what I am now. I mean, we just started doing Caesars when we got here. Before that, we were mainly with the independent casinos in California, like Thunder Valley, different ones like that. Other than Vegas, just an MGM. So for Caesars, I'm almost to the 3rd tier, whatever that one is. Is it platinum? Okay, so I'm almost to platinum right now.
That's good.
And he's at gold, of course.
Tell him to put his card in more or focus on playing your card. Caesars, because of the way they've done their system, they have 3 different levels of diamond, diamond plus, diamond deluxe, triple diamond deluxe. I don't know. But so focusing on your card might be a little more beneficial. But again, if you
Yeah.
guys go together,
Yeah, we're always together. So
and I would say focus on a card just to really slingshot up. But the same
yeah.
thing, if you combine cards, you're still going to be doing well. It's just your offers are going to be independent of each other, but you're going to earn
Okay.
tier points faster.
Okay. Yeah. I think we're going to do that then.
And it's like, especially if you see a multiplier going on.
Oh yeah. I had a couple of suggestions since you're staying at Luxor. How many nights are you staying at Luxor, by the way? Is it 2 or
2 nights, yeah.
2
And then
nights?
3
You're
at
going
Harris.
Okay. Gotcha. There, if you go down to Mandalay Bay, and there's a free tram that goes from Luxor to Mandalay Bay. They have a 2 coin, $2 a spin, double top dollar there. I think there's 2 or 3 of them, and those are very good to play. I've had a lot of luck off of those. So if you do want to try top dollar again, I would go down there and try to play those because they're low in denomination and they seem to do pretty well. So pinball is a little trickier, even if you're going on the older version, because the bonus round frequency is a lot higher. It's harder to obtain. It's like 1 in 64 on average in spins, and so that can sting sometimes. So I'm not overly surprised when you say we played top dollar and pinball and didn't do any good. That kind of stuff can happen. But long term, overall, they're still kind of the better games to play.
Yeah.
Over the penny games, just because of the penny games. And I'm not saying this is what's happening in your situation, but it is common, is that the penny games make you feel like you're doing better because at least you're getting something back, or maybe a little bit over your bet or a little bit less than your bet, but you're getting something back out of it. Where when it comes to the 3-year-old games, it's almost like an all or nothing thing. Like if nothing lines up, you're not getting anything. But if something does line up, you're at least getting your bet back and maybe a little bit more. And so it's a different experience. I don't know if this is what you've noticed or if it's just overall you seem to always be doubling your money, tripling your money on penny games. What do you think about that? What do you think your thought process is there?
I think I'm not putting enough into the machines that are recommended to really give it a chance.
Okay, I gotcha.
I feel like I'm putting in like, maybe 50, 60. And then if I'm not getting anything, then I just walk away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's fine. I don't want you to think that's a
strategy.
Yeah.
That's a really good strategy. I mean, right? Like we don't want to chase bonus rounds on anything.
Yeah.
So if you're not feeling it, yeah, you should do exactly what you're doing, which is to get up and just but just don't write them off completely, because there are some really big benefits long term with those. And I think that, I mean, it doesn't matter what game we play, we always try to set those limits when we sit down to play. So even pinball and top dollar, and we've both had horrible runs on those games, but we've also had very lucrative runs on those games. But the important thing is again, to limit yourselves. I think what you said is true on those 2 games. I think starting with 100 credits is really what you need to do on those 3 real games to try to get the full play of the game, whether it has a bonus round or not, or multipliers or whatever the case is. I think that 100 credits is kind of what you need to invest into the game.
Yeah.
If you don't get it in that, don't chase it. Just get up and walk away and try it again later. But yeah, those are the types of games that are really difficult to just put a 20 in and expect to get a bonus round or something, because it could happen, but the odds are against you when it comes to that. Especially Jennifer, like the one thing I want to say is like you should still play the games that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy top dollar and pinball, you shouldn't feel forced into playing those because we told you, or people play them on YouTube and you watch them and they're having a good time. Like if you're not feeling it on those games, don't play them. Stick with what you are comfortable with. And, as long as you're doing well and you're watching your budget and you're not overextending or chasing bonuses, which is really easy on those penny games, by the way, to keep putting money in because you feel like you almost got the progressive, you almost got the bonus, whatever the case is. It's easier to fall into that trap on penny games than it is on the other ones. Mostly, I think, is because the other ones, if you keep getting a bunch of dead spins, it's a lot easier to get up and walk away, right? But
there's
penny
one.
games, you're getting something. So
Yeah,
Go ahead.
there's one that I do not like. I don't remember. I think it has something to do with the triple stars or something. Or no, it has something to do with the diamond one. It's where the diamond, like it'll land, but then it goes up or down a
Double
row.
Diamond Deluxe.
Deluxe.
Okay, I do
Yeah.
not like that one. I don't know why,
I
but
don't like that one either.
every time I play it, the diamond just shifts, and then I don't get anything, and then it shifts,
Yep.
and I don't get anything.
Yeah.
That's the same thing happens to me. It's
Yep.
there's also the red, white, and blue where it has rockets that go up and down,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter what happens. I'm like, if it lines up, I get like the mixed bars hit, and I'm just like, well, all that for that.
Yeah,
I hate this game. I don't like it. But you will find that going to like some of the 3 reels, where you, especially in Vegas, where I know you can find a lot of variety of dollar denomination games for 2 credits or 3 credits a spin, and it's the same level you're playing now, so it's still $3 a spin. So you're right in there, and even if you can find $2 a spin,
yeah,
you're saving a third of your money each time for a spin, which adds up to more spins. And in the penny games, you'll see like you'll be betting $3, but you'll have a 60-cent win. Well, that's actually a $2.40 loss. They're just selling it to you as a win.
mhm,
And so you'll get a lot of those. So it feels like you're doing better. But, those are over time, they are going to just keep sucking money away. And I know
yeah,
you guys have done well. It's just over time, that's what is going to happen. That's just the way they're designed. But
yeah,
I think in Vegas, you'll have a lot better time finding those $1 2 credit machines or $1 3 credit machines, and
Yeah.
give them a little bit more of a try. Try a little bit more at them, and then try to feel it as well. Like if you're not feeling it, don't play it. Just be like, oh
yeah,
nope, not feeling it. I'll go back to my ultra spin strike game and I'll play there, and that's fine too. Play with what you're comfortable with. Play what you enjoy playing. But in the long run,
mhm,
you want to find a less volatile game for a
yeah,
more chance of winning. Yeah,
yeah,
I used
yeah.
to.
but you guys are having fun.
No, go ahead.
There was one lady sitting at Thunder Cash one night when we went. She was there all night. I mean, like 8 hours, and she just had ticket after ticket in her hand. I mean, she was winning. I don't even
Mhm.
know. It was thousands and thousands, and she just kept
There's
playing and
always those
playing.
people.
Yeah, and we kept waiting for her to leave and get up, and she never would.
Share some of the love.
I
Come
want your
on.
machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, she never left. We left at like 4 in the morning, and she was still playing.
Yeah.
I mean, that you'll see that happen a lot. I mean, that is
Yeah.
definitely happens a lot. So just try
Yeah,
not to let that
you
discourage
get
you of
that
someone else winning.
psychology. You get that psychology fix where it's like you're claiming ownership over the machine because you've done so well.
Mhm.
Like this is
Yeah,
my machine now. Nobody can. I mean, and I tell you, those games with the must hit by progressives, out of all the other games that are in the casino, there's not one better at making you feel that way. Like you feel like this is mine because I've fed this progressive up and it's close to hitting. I don't want some other guy to come in here and put a 20 in and hit the progressive after I put thousands through it. It's mine. It's my
That's
progressive.
Yeah.
mine.
And so those games will, man, those people will just sit there and camp out forever. Especially if the must hit by numbers are high. It's hard to get them off.
yeah. Most of
It
them
is.
I seen when we were looking at, I think it was like the Thunder Cash and Eagle Bucks and things like that. They were really low. Like they were really high from, I can't remember what the number was, if it was like 10,000 or something,
Yeah.
but it was really low, closer to the 9,000.
Yeah.
I just walk on by now. Like
If,
I see 9 and anything less than an 8, I walk on by.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even care. I don't care if it's 9,500. I'm not going to risk trying it. I don't care if it's got to be 9,800 or higher for me even to even look at it.
And
Because
even
I
then,
just know now.
probably you're not going to be able to get on the machine if it's that high.
Right. And if it's that high, you're probably not going to be able to get on it.
If you go to, especially in your local casinos, you mentioned this was in your, was it the Isle Casino?
Yeah.
That was where you saw that one. Yeah. The ones that have locals go to it mostly, or there's no tourists, it is really hard to hit those must hit buys because they're friends and people that are constantly watching where it is. And if it gets over a certain point, 9,600, 9,700, they're all going to be taking turns on there, until somebody hits it. And so that one you kind of just want to hopefully go when it's low, which it can. I mean, it's completely random between the 9 and the 10,000 or what number it's going to go at. It's just overall your odds are going to be better the higher it goes, right? Because it's shrinking, like the bucket's shrinking. But yeah, those games, I like Thunder Cash. I like Eagle Bucks. I would be careful with those games just because, number one, never chase any of the must-hit buys unless, seriously, super close. 480 out of 500, 9,800 out of 10,000. Then I would play it for the must-hit buys. But if not, realize that those games are high in volatility. And unless you get a bonus round, it's going to eat you like really fast. So those are games that I always try to limit my play on as much as I possibly can. And if I do end up getting a bonus, I'll do a couple backup spins and then I'll get out of there because the bonuses are just not frequent on Thunder Cash and Eagle Bucks. So just be very careful with those. I still prefer the 3 reels over those, but those are kind of the ones that have done me well in the past, but they've also done me very poorly. So I don't want, the more boring the game is, the better it is to play. When it comes to bankroll management, I don't know why that is, but that's just kind of the general. There are exceptions. Like I would never want you to sit down at a 10 times pay machine because that's totally different. But in general, if the game looks incredibly boring, like Cherry's Jubilee, you're going to lose your mind if you have to sit there for more than 10 minutes because you're going to think this is incredibly boring. There's no bonus rounds. There's no music, no sound. It's just pushing the button, getting a lot of just 10 credit hits and stuff like this. It's very boring.
Small line hit. 100 pay line hit.
I know. That's pretty much all it is. But that is a good game for building your bankroll because it's boring. Like that's the trade-off of it. But as new games come out, as they're coming out right now, especially, they're trying to build as much excitement as they do. These big giant screens with loud music, lots of lights, 5 different types of bonus rounds you can get, 10 different progressives you can get, like all this crazy stuff that's going on. And it's very exciting to play because you have the potential of getting all of those things. And so, funny enough, the machines that I have here in my room are all in that variant because if you have a machine at home, I would not want to be having a Cherry's Jubilee sitting in here because it would be the worst home game to play. It'd be so incredibly boring. I would get bored of it within an hour and wish I never bought it. But I have Huff and Puff in here. I have Wonka in here, like games that I would never really put a lot of serious money into in a casino, but they're super fun to play. So this is the perfect scenario for me. But, it's just important to realize that there are differences in how these games are designed. And over the long term, you will notice a difference between playing those high volatility, newer style video, lots of banging, crazy stuff going on, with the old fashioned, boring, nobody wants to play them. The reels are faded. They're making really weird mechanical sounds because they look like they're about to go out any day. Ultimately, those are, and here's the way that I try to seal the deal on this so people really understand. If you walk into most high limit rooms, what do you find? You find the double diamond, you find the triple diamond, you find those old school top dollar and pinballs. And there's a reason those are being all moved to the high limit room is because those players that play at that level, those are the machines that they want to play. They don't want a high limit, Planet Moolah inside of the high limit room because it's not a game that any of those long-term high limit whales would ever want to play because they know the return is going to stink, So it's just something to kind of keep in mind. And we're looking for kind of long-term results, ultimately, especially since now you've moved and you've got some new casinos to pick from. All right, I'll shut up now. I know I'm rambling, but hopefully you got something out of that.
Jennifer, how many days were you going to Vegas? I know you said 2 at Luxor, but then how many at Harrah's?
3 nights. So we come in Wednesday about midday, and then we leave Monday morning.
Okay,
kind of
you got
mid-morning.
A good amount of time there.
Yeah.
So you got a good amount of time. Are you still bringing $500 each for your trip?
So it's kind of with Christmas and all of our kids' birthdays are in December. It's kind of rough.
Oh.
Yeah. So
terrible time to go to Vegas.
I think our budget right now, and this is just for gambling, it's not for, food or anything like that. I've prepaid as much as I can for this trip.
That's really good.
Because it's for my birthday. I prepaid for like a limo to take us from the airport to the hotel
Nice.
and stuff
Oh,
like
good.
that.
Make sure you get
So
pictures, lay back in the limo, take me around.
I think our budget is between 4,000 and 5,000 just for gambling together.
Okay.
Okay. So together,
give or
so
take
let's say
2,500 a piece.
2,000 each. Let's just go on the low side.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good, that is
And then
a good
that's not
healthy amount.
including our free play and stuff that we have. So
Right.
we have a little bit there.
So what I'm going to suggest, and you already know about the envelopes, of course,
Yeah.
is that you break that down into 500 each day. But I want you to take 100 out of one day and write that on an envelope of just for cherries. That's your
Okay.
cherry money. Okay. So that way you know specifically this is going in Cherries Jubilee, and I'm not going to get crazy at it because you do have a tendency to want to chase that progressive.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones. I have done it before. Mark's done it before. Once you get into like $300 in and you haven't won, you just got to walk away. So that's why I'm just saying 100, so that if you don't win at 100, oh well, wasn't meant to be. Your husband's also playing most likely, so you have 2 chances to win right there.
Yeah.
And in my real theory, you're going to win in 100 or you're not going to win. It's
Yeah. It does seem that way with those.
it does seem that way, but you do have a good chance of hitting the 100 credits within the $100, and that extends that play time as well. And so that's
Okay.
something else to think about. But having those daily budgets of 500 a day, and then work your spending, try to find some of the lower volatility games in a dollar denomination or lower, 2 or 3 credits to spend in that range, and it's still your same. But if you don't feel it, you don't feel it. Stick with the game, stick with the game you enjoy, and go that route as well. But having those dollar denominations set is going to just sort of make it easier for you to say, okay, well, here's my Thursday envelope, and here's my Friday envelope, and here's my Saturday envelope, here's my Sunday envelope, and then maybe have your Wednesday $100 Cherries Jubilee be for Wednesday after you land, so that way you're not rushing right into gamble like we all like to do.
Yeah.
So what day is your birthday? Is your birthday on this trip?
No, so it's 2 days after we get back.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
no, it's actually 3 days. Sorry. So we come back on the 4th. The only reason we had to come back on the 4th is because my son's birthday is on the 5th.
Oh, man,
and then my birthday is on the 7th. Yeah.
Well, happy early birthday for sure.
Thank you.
Yes.
Say that everywhere. At the ticket agent, at the gate agent. Just drop it your birthday. Go get one of those birthday sashes from Party City or whatever.
Yeah.
Play it up. Okay? The birthday tiara, the birthday sash, all that. Play it up.
I want to see you do that, Dave.
Oh, it does not work for
Birthday
guys.
tiara, let's get
Okay?
you going, man.
It does not work for guys. I have tried. But women works really well for. The other thing is when you check in, I want you to try to find someone who is in your sort of age group, okay, at the check-in desk, because those are the people, they relate to you on that level of it's your birthday, you are celebrating, this milestone, whatever, and there maybe have they maybe have gotten there already, or maybe that's coming up, and they want to do something special, and they want to make sure you have something special. So I always like to try to find someone in that age group who is really, maybe they can offer you a little bit extra, especially a room upgrade. Go for the room upgrade. Luxor, they have some really awesome. They have a 1-bedroom suite that is amazing. There's so much room in it. It's crazy. And Harrah's has an extremely nice executive suite, which is not a huge upgrade. I mean, it's not. And the same thing, just put that sash back on and go out that way. And if you don't have dinner plans, make sure to go to someplace nice. If you're looking for a really nice dinner, Mayfair Supper Club in Bellagio is outstanding. You get a great show as well as a great meal. Make sure to make those reservations now. If you're wanting to do something, what I consider even more special is go to Caesar's Buffet, because you can have all the choice you want. But then there's also Italy in front of Park MGM. There's all the great food in New York, New York. I mean, make sure to have a great time with your birthday. You know, make sure to have out there and have fun.
Okay. I have a question. So we went once last year, but we just did a quick like hour. We stayed at Luxor, I think, and we went to Fremont Street, but we just kind of walked around, maybe played a few games and then left. We're debating, should we go back again? Is there any benefit to gambling down there versus
Yes.
getting our comps at MGM?
So Friday night or Saturday night, go down to downtown. That is when downtown is alive. That is
Okay.
when all the freaks come out. So the way I like to say it is the strip is the exact same as downtown, but downtown is compressed to about 300 yards, where the strip is like 30 miles long, it seems like. So you
Yeah.
see the same stuff, but it's all compressed. Now, yes, you're going to want to focus your, you know, play with MGM or with Caesars, whichever one, but don't really get super focused on that with downtown, because there's some great casinos downtown as well. And they actually have a lot of different Boyd properties is down there, the One Resorts, and they have multiple properties around the country. So there are lots of links there, but it never hurts to play there and open up your options. There's so many great, really old school games down there. There's some fun times to be had. It is a
Or
party.
Queens.
And again,
Yeah.
wear the tiara all the time. Yeah.
And did you say Boyd properties?
Yes. So people
Okay,
in Samstown.
One of the ones that we go to in Iowa, the Diamond Joe, it's a Boyd property.
There you go.
Oh, good.
So they're also
So we have a
the
player's
Durango
card for there.
casinos, Samstown, and I can't remember what the Boyd property is downtown. I want to say it's. Oh, I'm going to say it's Binions, but I don't think that's right. But there is a Boyd property downtown as well that's right there, as well as Samstown, all the Durango casinos as well, and all the
Okay.
stations. So yeah, so
I tried
that's
looking
neat.
up. I think you guys just talked about it the other day about how there's I think you called it like secret ways to get free play and rewards and things like that downtown for
Yes.
Fremont. And to Google
Yeah.
it, I couldn't come up with anything.
So what you want to Google is match play downtown.
Okay.
And so you can have certain things like at Circa, you want to say hi to Matthew at the front, at the player's desk. There's no Matthew there. You're just saying, say hi to Matthew. And that's it. You get a $25 match play there.
And they know it? They know what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah. But
Okay.
Mark was like, I don't believe this. I don't believe this. I'm like,
I felt strange, but I went up there and said, yeah, I'm here to
Yep.
see Matthew. And they're like, here.
there you go. And so they have
Pretty
similar
fun.
things at the D, Golden Gate, El Cortez, Downtown Grand. With bringing your flight ticket in within 24 hours, you get extra money. All these things. If you fly certain airlines, you get more money. So there's a lot of different things downtown, and you can just rack them up. I mean, you really can.
Okay.
So just make sure you know of all those, offers and everything. And if you can't find it, email us, and I will send you a link. Okay.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I'm gonna look
is-
it up again.
it is just like look for downtown match play or downtown offers, all those kind of things. And there
Okay.
are quite a few.
Yeah, because any bit helps. So
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
not bad.
Exactly. Any bit helps. And you remember, all this is just advice. We're not offering you, you're not guaranteed a chance to win. It's all your play. We're not
Yeah.
implying you're going to win. We're just trying to set you up with the best possibility to do well. But it's on
Yeah.
you to either play or not play or know when to stop. That's our little.
Yeah, that's why we want to approach
tag.
this one a little differently than we have in the past. We've just kind of went with the flow and 20 here, 20 there.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden we open it and we're down like 500 with all
Yep.
these,
Or you don't even
because you're just
realize how
pulling
much you're
20s
down.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
when you're pulling
Yeah.
20s, you don't feel it until
Yeah.
it's empty.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just a few spins and it's gone. And then you're
Mhm.
off to another one. And you're just, yeah. And I totally feel you on that one of that the 20s used to work when it was quarters. When it was
Yeah.
all quarters
That's
and
right.
2 credits a spin, 20s used to be all you need because 20 was a lot of spin.
Yeah.
And now it's like dollars, you don't have that many spins. I mean, you have 10
No.
spins and you're out. And that's
Yeah,
not
when you're
enough
betting
time.
$3, it's nothing.
Yeah.
And it's not enough time to ride the ups and downs. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Well, Jennifer, we're actually, my wife and I are going to be in Vegas at the same time you are.
Oh,
That's
really?
right.
How cool is that? So we'll have to, I'll get your number afterwards and I
Yeah.
can text you and maybe we can go play cherries because she wants to play them too.
Yeah, we
So
can't
maybe
wait. We're excited.
We'll all go down there and play cherries. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've
Absolute
heard a
blast.
few people recently said that they went to go play it and they couldn't get on a machine. I guess so many people have been seeing the videos talking about it that it's been hard there. So I guess
It
we're
is
just going to have to try
It's
different
been a
hours.
Vegas staple for a while. Yeah, we're bringing it kind of to the forefront, but those games have been at MGM Grand for as long as I've been out there. The same machines. They refuse to get rid of them because there's so many people that come in just to play that. They don't play anything else.
Wow.
And one of
There's
the
going to be a
stories
riot if they get rid of them.
oh yeah. One of the stories that I like to tell that my host told me when he was over at MGM Grand is that they had a lady come in and she was starting from ground zero on her. She's never played at MGM properties before, but she heard about these games from a friend or whatever. And so she came in with 0 tier credits started, and she was playing 2 of them at the same time, which I don't really advise, but whatever. She's playing 2 at the same time
That's a lot.
for 18 hours straight. And she made platinum within 18 hours. And that's really hard to get at MGM. But
Yeah.
she had so much churn through those machines because even if she spent $800, she would end up getting it and getting 1,000, and she would be up 200. And then another time she would only spend a couple hundred and then get the 1,000. But anyway, not only did she get platinum, but she left ahead after all that. Now, 18 hours of sitting on those machines, I don't know how any human can do that because it gets really
No.
boring. But it's just proof that those are so iconic and so many people play them. And some people only play those. They will not play anything else in the casino or anywhere in Vegas, just because it is relatively easy. Now, again, it's not guaranteed, but it's relatively easy to get the Cherries Jubilee. I've played them probably 4 times, and 3 out of those 4 trips I got it. One time I put 200 or 300 in and didn't get it, gave up. But like Dave said earlier, the last time I was there, I put $20 in, couple of spins in, I got the 100 credits, and then I played off the 100 credits, and then maybe a couple minutes later, I got the 3 cherries for 1,000. So
Oh, wow.
I started with $20 to get that, which is incredible. And I don't always happen that way, but Dave's right. It seems like if you're not going to get it on the first couple hundred, it's not meant for you.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Not meant for you. Don't chase it.
So,
On our
And if they
budget,
ever
would you
get rid
say
of
to
those-
stick to the $1 Cherries Jubilee?
yeah.
I would, yes. I
Yeah.
recommend the
That
$1 Cherries Jubilee over the others because
Okay.
of
No
there's
taxes.
2 things.
Yeah.
One, no taxes. If you can win $1,000, you're better than winning $1,200
Yeah.
because of the taxes you're going to pay. So also your budget's going to be impacted more because now you're spending $6 to spend instead of 3.
Yeah.
So you're needing double the starting funds to do that. And the dollar amount is just fine. I mean, you're just going to grind it away. And if you lose $100, you're no big deal. But if you go to the $5 one and you got to put in $500 and you don't hit it, that's a little bit more of an impact. That's your daily budget right there.
Yeah.
And so it's not worth the exposure. But if they ever do get rid of those machines, there's going to be a gang of rascal scooters just going down there looking for trouble.
Yeah.
The other great thing about those Cherries machines is right next to it is the Grand Walk Noodle Bar, which is outstanding food. So
Okay.
if you get hungry, take a break in there.
Yeah.
And hopefully you
while
guys
you're
see
eating
Mark
in there, you
there.
can watch all the people hitting it, and you're not hitting it
Yeah.
because you're eating.
Lovely.
Just stupid noodles.
That's the worst.
Oh, I know.
So that's the other thing. I love to play roulette.
Okay.
Love to play roulette. And I swear, I always bet on the same numbers, usually just one number. I have one number that I always bet on. And I usually do, I don't want to say usually, but I've done pretty well in it. But every time I walk away, my number hits. Every single, and I try so hard not to look at it when I walk
know.
past because I know it's going to be there. And so every time I tell my husband, I'm like, see, it just hit. It just hit.
Yeah.
I should have
Or
been
you
there.
get all your bets down and then you forget that one number and it hits. Same thing.
Yeah.
But make sure you're on a double 0 or a single 0 wheel stay away from the 3-0 wheels, the 000 wheels that they now have
Okay.
everywhere.
Yeah.
They are just absolutely horrible.
I think it was Mandalay. I think it was Mandalay last year. They had like a little roulette room, kind
Yeah.
of. Not a room, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like a little enclosed.
Yeah, it's
I
the
didn't like
little
that.
kind of gazebo area. It's the
Yeah,
digital roulette. Yeah, the
I didn't like that
interblocking
area.
roulette. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't for me.
I'm more of a physical chips person roulette myself.
Yeah.
I like the tactile feel, like the ball listening and all that kind of stuff. I don't like the digital
Yeah.
as much.
Also, make sure you've probably seen this, but on the video roulette, check the payouts because a lot of them will pay only 32 to 1 straight up.
Right.
And that means that it's set at a lower payback percentage. So if they're not all equal. I mean, even within the same casino, and Aria has these where they have a bank, 5 of them, and they're all set at 32 to 1 instead of 35 to 1 on the straight up number. But then you walk just a little bit further down and they have another set of roulette that is completely the same payouts as a table game. So let's make sure
I
you look
didn't know
out for
that.
that too.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were different.
Oh yes. Yeah. The way those virtual blackjack, virtual craps, virtual roulette, when it comes to like whatever the random aspect is of those games, like with roulette, it's the ball spinning around. That has to remain completely random. So they can't have a payback percentage manipulate where the ball lands, for example.
Yeah.
That's just not legal. But what they can do with the payback percentage is reduce or change what the payouts are to you based on what the activity is. So, straight up 32 to 1 over 35 to 1 suggests that the payback return percentage is lower on that machine.
Okay.
The way they get you on video blackjack, I don't know if you ever play video blackjack, but the way they get you on that is they will reduce what you're able to do, like doubling down or splitting or things like that, insurance, or they'll play, 6 to 5 instead of 3 to 2. Like all of those things can be controlled by the payback percentage, but not the actual shuffling of the cards or the dice being thrown or the ball going around the wheels. So definitely look out for that.
Okay, good to know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Jen,
we're
thank you
excited.
so much
Any
for
questions?
go ahead.
This has been great.
Yeah, that's my question. Go for it.
I'm excited. I hope we get to run into each other at
Yeah,
Vegas. It'll be a lot of
definitely.
fun. Yeah.
But thank
Yeah,
you
that'd
so
be
much
really
for coming
fun.
on. We
Yeah,
really
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you for having me.
And we want to hear about your trip when you get back.
Yes.
So if you wouldn't mind
Yeah.
coming back on when you're done, and
Definitely.
especially if you meet up with Mark, you got to hit the progressive. You
Yeah.
have to.
I'm going to be a
That's like the
failure.
thing.
Now I have to order a sash and tiara. Got to get on Amazon.
Get on Amazon, go to Party City, whichever it is. Just get something, and I really want to know if it works for you at all. Like
I'm
even
going
if
to
it's
try.
just something, because I have seen it work for others, and it's one of those things where it never hurts to try.
Maybe
What's
I'll
the
have
worst
my
that's going to
husband
happen?
record me and see.
There you go.
And always play it up. Oh, we've never stayed here before. This is our first time in a long time to Vegas. Whatever you can do.
Yeah.
It's our first time staying at Harrah's. All that stuff. Just play it up. The worst thing is they can say no, and you're in the same boat. So
should I still try the 20 even though I'm doing the birthday thing, or just?
It never hurts to do both.
Okay.
But I think you'd always start, see the kind of reaction you get with your birthday. If they're
Okay.
very like, oh yeah, then kind of change it. Always have it ready, have your credit card and your ID with the 20 inside it ready to go. And if they're not like having like a big reaction as well, you can just drop that, hold that in or drop that out and then hand it to them.
Yeah, I
And
know
so
when I've called to make a change, like once or twice, the ladies have always said, "Oh, I seen you're coming here for your birthday."
That's good. You got it down.
So they're already kind of paying attention to it on their side.
Yeah.
And that's something they look at on all the sides. They want everyone to be happy.
Yeah.
So if there's a special thing, you make sure to say it.
Okay.
Oh, I just now thought of this. Are you getting any free play from MGM while you're there?
No, not other than the MGM slots thing, because they can't offer me anything. They said until I think December 13th.
Oh, that's right, because of the
Mirage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's literally right after we come back they can start offering me it.
Because I was going to say, ask the rewards desk for birthday free play. That is totally a thing.
Okay.
So if
Ask
you're there in
anyway.
your birthday month, you ask them. Well, I guess you'll be. Yeah, you will be because of the changeover.
Yeah.
But ask them for
Yeah.
birthday free play. They might do it.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about that. So we can do that at Luxor then, since they're part of MGM.
You can try it because of your transition. They may or may not do it, but
Okay.
there is such a thing as birthday free play.
Okay.
So give it a
It's
shot.
always worth a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst they
We've
say is
never, yeah, we've never been there in the winter at all. We always go usually June through August.
oh, this is going to be beautiful.
Oh, it's so much nicer.
It's going to be
Yeah,
so much
we've
nicer to walk.
usually when we go, it's like 118.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You'll
You're
be
gonna
able to
actually want to
walk
go
to the casino
outside.
down the strip.
Yeah.
It'll be real nice outside.
Yeah.
It's a much better time to go.
Yeah, a couple people
But
they're
still
like,
drink
"Oh,
water.
it's going to be so cold," and I'm like, "No, not compared to Minnesota."
No.
No.
If anything, you should probably go out in like shorts and flip flops, and just so you
Yeah.
can be ready for the winters out there.
It'll
Yeah.
still be the
Minnesota.
80s. You know, it's still super nice out there. It's a little cooler at night, but you're still
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, I can't wait. Nice.
We're very excited for you. Wish I was
Thank
going.
you.
I tried to get them to go.
I know. If I didn't have to go to Universal and Harry Potter World and nerd out, I'd be there.
Priorities.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
But
hope I get
Jennifer,
to see
thank you
Mark
so
and his
much.
wife. Yeah,
hope so,
thank
too.
you.
Yeah, we'd love it. We'll love
really
it.
hope so.
We'll make it happen somehow.
All right,
But yeah,
perfect. Thank you.
Definitely get you back on. Thank you again. Thank you, Mark. And we're going to wrap up and we're going to say gamble smart. And Jen's going to say,
Gamble safe.
All right.
there we go. All right. Thank you, Jennifer. We
Thanks,
really
Jennifer.
appreciate you.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.